So before we were talking, you told me you got the worst sleep of your night, bro. The same thing with me.
I have no clue what happened.
Yeah.
But it was like it was out of nowhere. It's like the worst sleep like ever, and that's crazy that you had the same experience.
Right.
I don't know.
Drew did too. My roommate and your roommate too.
I don't know what that means.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't know if it means anything, but I just brought it up out of nowhere, and then
right.
You said same.
Exact same thing. Exact same thing.
That's crazy.
I gotta start taking my emergencies, dude.
Always.
As a reminder, but no, that's funny. But so today, you came up to me, and I've always wanted to have you on the pod, but you wanted to talk more specifically about like the recruitment process to like help out younger kids,
right,
so they can kind of get a feel for how the process works, what to expect, what's good, what's not, based off of your experiences.
Exactly.
So I guess we'll just kind of start at the top. Jacob was kind enough to make a list for me, help me give some bullet points on what he wants. But so like, what would you say are the benefits of having connections?
Honestly, like a big thing for me in the recruiting process was that I learned that like just connections from my coaches or anyone who I trained with, like just them being able to reach out to the college or coach that I'm trying to train for is like, it goes farther than emails, honestly. Like,
right.
Yeah, like definitely go ahead and email like a whole list of coaches, like specifically to them. But like connections, like my high school coach, like honestly, he was really big in that. Like I feel that honestly, he got me here. And even like when I went to high school with one of my past teammates, Michael Antonovich, at Maranatha High School, he went here and like he honestly put the word in for me, and I heard that from my coach. So that's one thing I learned that definitely benefited from.
That's dope. Like when you sent out emails to coaches, like would you get down if you sent like a couple in a row and they didn't respond to you?
Yeah, definitely. Like that's a common. I wouldn't say problem, but people
right.
consider it a problem just because, like, yeah, you feel like they're not looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it's just like the drive to keep, like, it's not a bad thing to continue to follow up and reach out to them. It honestly shows like your interest, and it's not like yeah, go ahead and tell them like when your next like game or showcase is, and just keep following up. Send them updated highlight footage, and that will definitely they'll see that in a good way.
Right. No, that's dope because that's how I felt with me. Like I'd send out emails literally my whole career. No one would reply.
Yeah.
Or if it was like, you know, like something random, you know, just like a mass produced like reply. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So that's interesting that you bring that up. But what do you think of ID camps for
ID
like
camps?
younger kids? Yeah.
I have a lot of views about ID camps, but I definitely say that like, first of all, yes, they are very expensive, but and honestly, like, you could look at it like, yeah, ID camps, they do want, and I do believe, like, they do want money and, like, maybe for fundraising, because so many of these players, like, they come out to these ID camps and they try to showcase themselves, but it's just so hard for the coach to specifically, like, look at you.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think it's a good mix. Like, you should also go to ID camp, even though it's expensive, but like, you definitely have to have a connection with the coach beforehand, because if not, then you're just a number in the group, you know?
Yeah. And could you talk about a certain experience, like from your perspective, where you went to an ID camp and like just talk about whether you emailed him and like reached out first or not, and kind of how that path went for you?
Yeah, this is honestly like a really big school. And I like at the time, like I didn't even have like anyone to guide me, honestly.
What school was it?
I'm actually talking about UC Davis.
Oh, okay.
Now. And this is the only, like, yeah, I was like, I would say I was even caught up on, like, the big schools, obviously. And, like, wow, I ended up here. But I was looking at the big schools, and even, like, my coach, because he was such a big guy, he had all these connections, right? And that was a school on my list, right? So I sent it to my coach, and he, like, reached out to them. Obviously, I emailed him, and he replied, and he knew that I knew this coach. So, like, there was that connection. He even called him and said, like, yeah, is this guy coming out? But, like, yeah, it was a good experience. But, like, just that connection, like, obviously I didn't end up going there. And it was, like, I was just a number out there, definitely. Like, everyone is good. And it's just, like, hard to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Now, what would you tell someone who gets caught up in, you mentioned UC Davis was the camp that you attended. That's obviously a Division I school, legit soccer program. So what would you tell someone who is, like, not scared, but like concerned about the division level that they're
would
trying to
say-
play at? Like, you know what I mean?
Like a common problem, honestly, is that people get so caught up on the division,
Right.
and that there's honestly so many schools, whether it's community college D2 or D3, even NAIA, like where to work up to, or even like schools like this or other Division twos. They're just like great programs that you could develop in, and like honestly, I've even heard from a couple of like my teammates, let's say from Tyler Oakson, I'm sure you know.
Of course.
Like he went to SMU, and his whole thing was that they treated him just like a number out there. It was just like a product. And like
Right.
here, like you feel like a sense of like family, in that you have like more meaning than just like a player, you know?
Yeah. And now, like, going back to like the college scene, how early would you tell kids to start reaching out to all these coaches? Like, at what age?
Honestly, like now I feel that like you should honestly start reaching out like as soon as possible. Like in high school, maybe you're like sophomore year, even like some people think that's too early, but honestly, like just to follow up for years, like at a time, like 3 years, and then like they know that you're interested for that much like time, that it's a good look.
Yeah.
And honestly, like they'll keep you in check, you know?
Yeah. And what age did you personally start reaching out to schools?
You know, I had a late start, and like because I didn't really have anyone to guide me. Honestly, like it was just shocking that like when I saw, like I was just watching a lot of YouTube videos,
Yeah.
trying to be resourceful, right? And like I started my senior year, right?
Really?
And like it was a hard process, but definitely I made it. And like you definitely don't. That's why I'm reaching out to you guys, but to help the younger generation to start earlier. Definitely just open your options up earlier, because time is like a big problem, you know.
Right. No, that's great insight from you, and you've learned that from a long journey.
Yeah.
So that's dope. Who would you tell kids to look up to? Like, let's say they're in your situation, like you didn't have someone that you said who was guiding you through the process. So like, if you don't have that, who do you look up to?
I'd say first of all, like definitely like keep up with the older players maybe you played with who've like made it out of college, or like for me, I even use YouTube, bro.
YouTube
Like,
is excellent.
YouTube is excellent, bro. Like there's so many resourceful videos that I just like use to my advantage from people's stories.
Right.
And that just helps you like in every aspect. That's what I'm trying to do here.
I was just gonna say that.
Exactly.
That's what this YouTube video is gonna
Yeah.
be for kids in the future, whatever, now or down the line. So appreciate you doing that for them. This is gonna be great because I don't think there's a lot of too much of this stuff on it,
Right.
especially coming from someone who's been through it. Who's being vulnerable with their thoughts like
Yeah.
you are. So I think this is gonna be great. What's a thing that you took from the process of just the whole recruitment, and like what would you learn from it?
Just honestly, just like the professionalism of like the whole process. Like it's just so like eye opening to realize like you're trying to get to this school, and that like you like approach it professionally, and that like you're reaching out. It's honestly like similar to like a job application, and you never know like who's watching you, or how your name is going to be brought up. And it's just like these like connections could get you places where there's like work or there's like a new job, Like it's a small world, in that like it could help you in any way.
And what is your dream specifically? I know this is not like especially about like the recruitment process, but what is your dream for soccer?
For soccer?
Yeah. So the people watching this can kind of get a background on you.
Right. Honestly, it's a big shot, and
I love it.
And I'm sure you've heard already, but like for me, obviously continue my years here at Concordia.
Right.
But until like I don't know, maybe if I'm not doing anything after like my fourth year, I'll definitely stay a fifth, because this program is great. And honestly, like a big shot, and I feel blessed that I'm like even able to like, I would say not apply, but like honestly, because my background, I'm half Chinese and like white. So my mother is from Singapore, and just
Nice.
like honestly, maybe a long shot is play for the Singaporean national team.
I love it, dude.
Just have that as like from there, like you could move into their division, and that to have that on your resume, like I feel that not many people have that chance, and just I'm gonna pursue that because it's put on a plate for me,
So sick, dude. It's actually I remember that because it was last year like when I first met you, I went up to your room. You had like the little turf
Yeah.
on your floor, and I was like, "Yo, where do you want to go with soccer?" And you told me that exact same thing, and I hadn't heard that for a while. So that's dope, man. Good for you. Is there anything else that like you want to hit before we get into the through it all 3? That I might have missed, because I probably did miss a couple things.
Let me think. Can I see that real quick?
Yeah, just whatever you want.
I just touch up on like when reaching out to coaches, just like on the email specifically.
Okay.
Like a lot of people, like something not to do is just reach out to, like, well, definitely don't send a mass email to all these coaches, but like you definitely need to like find unique facts about the team.
Yes.
Reach out, show your interest, right?
Yes.
And like I said, just continue following up.
Right.
Honestly, and that helped me.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I think that's a great point you make. Like, make it unique to the school, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are just like copy and pasting emails to different coaches. But when a coach sees something that's like tailored to their program, it's like, okay, this kid's actually interested. You know what I mean? Like, looks up the roster, looks up the stats. Shout out my dad real quick. I always hear him talking on the phone about that. Always make it like tailored to them, so they know, okay, this dude's legit. Like, he wants to play here.
Right.
So
I'd also touch upon like one thing that puts yourself in front of others is just like your drive. Like, I honestly, like, I wanted to come to I wanted to make it to the next level so bad, and that like I honestly, like, I did a lot of catching up like on the soccer aspect, but outside it's just like it's different. It's your like mentality, your drive to make it to the next level. And honestly, I've known players that are really good, but they just didn't have the drive to make it to the next level. And like during the process with them, like they'd always ask me, but unfortunately they're behind in a sense that like they're waiting for these coaches to watch them and reach out to them, and they didn't even like put a lot of effort into reaching out. And that's like a common problem that players have, and it's just your mentality in general. That goes for the game as well. Like, you just gotta keep working, because I'm in a position right now where it's like it's hard, honestly, and like I haven't, like, there's no shot I'm losing my drive. Like, I'm gonna keep working. It's tough
for sure.
Like, I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, it's just so tough.
100%. Talk. Let's go into that a little bit more, because this is great stuff. So just give them a rundown of like the position and what you're trying to do, like the position you're in on the team or whatever, and what your goals are.
If you want to go into specifics, right now I'm a sophomore.
Yeah.
At Concordia University of Irvine on the men's soccer team.
Yep.
And like I preferred my whole life. I played center, defensive mid, right? And just at the college level, like, there's so many players. Everyone can honestly, like, technically do the same job. Technically.
Yeah.
But it's just like your knowledge of the game, and in the sense that like a lot of people can do the same job as you, and you just have to have like that one attribute that sticks out.
Yes.
And it's so hard. Like, it's so easy to just give up at this level, and I'm still working for it. But it's like, don't close your options off. Like look at other positions as well. Like it's all part of the process.
Right.
You know.
Now, what would you tell someone like freshman year, any sport, right? It doesn't have to be soccer. It could be basketball, football, whatever. Whole freshman year, no minutes. Coach isn't like really rocking with him. It's not like a personal thing. It's just like in general. You know what I mean? So like, what would you tell that kid who still wants it, but he's a little bit like scared, you know, that it's not going to work out? What would you tell him?
I'd definitely say, like, one thing is what I try to do is like definitely focus on what you can control. You know?
Love it. That's a great one.
Like not everything is going to go your way. And that, like, one thing, like, coaches or whoever could look at you, like, I want them to recognize that, like, I'm going to give it my all. But it's just, like, mental ability to focus on the next play. Like, just know you're always checked in. And, like, they just know that if you're that, like, then you're consistent in that. And they can't take that away from you.
Right.
You know?
I love it. Great answer, Jacob. So that's Through It All podcast episode 16. All right, but I do want to finish with the Through It All 3.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I seen it.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Let's see if I can get this.
All right. First question.
All right.
What is your best sport outside of soccer?
Oh, man, my best sport outside of soccer? Bro, I don't even play other sports, but with my, bro, I can't even say like. Oh man, it's probably like baseball or something.
Baseball?
I don't know,
Okay.
bro.
All right.
I would say
Next question. We got favorite Disney princess.
favorite Disney princess.
Favorite Disney princess.
I'm gonna have to throw in. What's her name? Rapunzel.
Rapunzel?
Tough.
Who's your favorite character?
Character?
Yeah, from
Disney?
that. No, from that movie. It's the movie's Tangled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's your favorite character?
Rapunzel, bro.
Bro, I love the horse.
Tough.
Maximus.
Exactly.
Maximus. And my hair, I'm trying to get it like Flynn Rider,
Got
low
it,
key.
bro. It's coming.
Low key. Yes, sir. All right. Last question then. What advice would you give to yourself at your lowest moment on your soccer journey?
I'd say I wouldn't even say like right now I'm completely humbled in a sense, like honestly, like I have no like reason to be like speaking on like what I've accomplished. I haven't accomplished anything yet. But I just say that my drive to keep going, like just keep pushing, Jacob. Like just
I love it.
like it's gonna come, and I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And just surround yourself with others with the same mentality, you know.
Excellent,
I'd say
dude.
that.
And hey, for everyone out there wondering about our boy Jacob, he's always working. Always in the gym, always getting that lift into soccer field. So thanks for being on, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
It's a great time.
Good stuff.
Great time. Yes, sir. Now you're just going to sign the board.
All right.